Did you know that companies with effective leaders are 13 times more likely to outperform their competitors? Yeah, that's right. But here's the kicker: only 10% of people have the natural talent to manage a team effectively. So, how do you become part of this elite group? I'm Dr. RB. I'm a licensed psychologist and leadership selections and development expert using AI. And today, I invite you to take on the challenge that could change your life. So, embark on a journey to transform yourself into a leader that others actually will follow. Are you with me? Let's go. Whether you're a seasoned executive looking to up your game, a new manager finding your footing, or someone who simply wants to make a bigger impact in your community, then this video is for you. So get ready to unlock your leadership potential. Leadership isn't just about being in charge or having a fancy title. It's really about inspiring and guiding, as well as empowering others to achieve greatness. It's about creating a vision and rallying people around it. It's about making tough decisions and taking responsibility for the outcomes. But here's the thing: great leaders aren't born. Nope, it's not genetic. They're made. Yes, they're made. So, what does that mean? Through dedication and simple reflection and continuous learning, anyone can develop the skills and qualities needed to become an exceptional leader. And you are no different. So, in this video, we're going to explore the challenges that hold many people back from becoming great leaders, the essential traits and skills set exceptional leaders apart. There are practical strategies that you can use to develop these qualities right now. Real world examples of effective leadership in action, and most importantly, how to authentically be yourself while leading others. This is key. So, whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, building a startup, or leading a community to organize, or simply just want to make a positive impact on those around you that you're leading, buckle up. We're about to dive deep into the world of transformational leadership. But before we get into the solutions, let's talk about why becoming a great leader is so challenging. So let's start with gaining trust and respect. It's not automatic. People do not trust and respect you simply because you have a title. So, for example, a new manager comes in and makes sweeping changes without understanding the team's dynamics first. The challenge then is how to build credibility and earn respect organically. It takes some time. Many struggle with communicating effectively. It's not just about speaking clearly, but also listening and understanding. So, for example, a leader who talks over others at meetings and doesn't seek input. The challenge here is how to create an environment where the communication is open, it's two-way. Leaders often face making tough decisions, complex problems with no clear right answer. So, for example, having to choose between two promising but different strategic directions for your company. So, the challenge here is how to make decisions confidently while considering all stakeholders. How does one balance authority with approachability? Being too authoritarian can alienate your team, but also being too friendly can undermine your authority. What do? So, for example, a team leader who's great at socializing struggles to give constructive criticism. The challenge here then becomes how to find the right balance that commands respect while fostering connection. Respect is not something that you say aloud, like you don't tell people to respect you. It's something that is elicited based on your behavior. The final challenge leaders face, which I'll cover here, is dealing with inspiration and motivation. Especially challenging during tough times when facing setbacks is to be inspiring and motivating. So, for example, keeping a team motivated during a long, difficult project with multiple delays. The challenge here is then how to maintain enthusiasm and drive even when things aren't going smoothly. These challenges can leave us feeling inadequate and uncertain. So we might start to doubt ourselves, wondering if we're really cut out for this leadership thing. But here's the good news. Again, every great leader has faced these challenges. The difference is in how they approach and overcome them. Now that we've covered the main challenges that people face in leadership, let's move on to what makes leaders effective. So we're going to explore some key traits and how to develop them. First off, that we need to get a grasp on is empathy. So understanding and sharing the feelings of others. Imagine, for example, a CEO who regularly sits with employees at all levels to understand their challenges and perspectives. This is what happened when CEO Oscar Munoz at United Airlines. He went around to all the different employees at the airport, at the ramp, in accounting, at the reservation center. He went everywhere to understand what challenges and perspectives that they were facing. How do you develop empathy? Practice, for example, active listening is a good way of doing this. You do this by asking open-ended questions to understand others' viewpoints, to put yourself in others' shoes before making a decision. Of course, number 2, communication, very important. You want to clearly convey ideas and actively listen to those that are listening to you. For example, holding one-on-one weekly meetings with team members to ensure that everybody's voice is being heard. Communication comes up at number 2. You want to clearly convey ideas and actively listen. A team leader who holds weekly one-on-ones with each team member ensures that everyone's voice is heard. You want to practice, for example, public speaking, maybe join a Toastmasters club, for instance. This is a way to improve communication as well. You learn to tailor your message to your audience, develop your storytelling skills to make your messages more engaging and memorable. Decisiveness comes at number 3. Making timely and informed decisions is extremely important in leadership. A project manager who confidently chooses between 2 competing strategies after carefully weighing the pros and the cons. This is a way of doing this, for example. A way to develop this is to gather information from multiple sources before deciding on a clear decision. This is, for example, what many world leaders do by having a cabinet. You set clear decision-making criterias, and you practice making small decisions quickly to build your self-confidence. Number 4, integrity. You want to consistently adhere to strong moral and ethical principles. A leader who takes responsibility for a team mistake rather than blaming individual members is one example of this. A way to develop integrity is to define your core values and really stick to them. Be transparent about your decision-making process. Admit your mistake and learn from them. And last but not least is adaptability, being flexible and responding to changing situations. For example, a startup founder who pivots their business model in response to market feedback. By staying informed about industry trends and changes, by encouraging being open to feedback from all levels, and practicing scenario planning to prepare for various outcomes are different ways to develop better adaptability. Now, here's the game-changing insight that takes my clients' leadership to the next level. authenticity, and vulnerability. These are your superpowers. A client of mine, we're going to call her Sarah, was a brilliant software engineer. She had recently been promoted to lead a team of 15 developers at a tech company. They were working on a groundbreaking AI project management tool with high stakes and tight deadlines. When Sarah first came to me for coaching, she was really struggling. Despite her technical expertise, she felt overwhelmed by her new leadership role. Her team was missing deadlines, morale was low, and tensions were high. Sarah confided that she felt like an imposter, constantly worried that she's going to be exposed as a fraud. Initially, Sarah tried to maintain an image of unwavering confidence, being very stoic at meetings. She worked late nights trying to solve every problem herself and then decided to hand out detailed instructions to her team. By doing this, you can imagine it backfired. Her team felt micromanaged and undervalued, and Sarah was feeling burnt out. In one of our coaching sessions, we had a breakthrough. I simply asked her, what would happen if your team saw your human side? What would happen if you took down that stoic mask? If they knew you were facing this challenge alongside with them, not above them, and definitely not like a statue. Sarah was terrified at the thought, but decided to take a risk. In the next team meeting, instead of presenting her usual facade of perfect control, she actually opened up and shared her vision for the project, but also her concerns. She admitted she did not have all the answers and she needed help from the team. The response was remarkable. After initial shock, because she no longer was a statue, team members started opening up as well. They shared their concern, they shared their ideas, as well as their aspirations for the project. Together, they restructured their approach, creating cross-functional pairs and establishing a new norm of open communication. The results were astounding, and within weeks, their productivity soared. The project that had been lagging was suddenly ahead of schedule. 3 months later, they launched their product to rave reviews. But the most important change was in Sarah herself. She no longer felt like an imposter. She embraced her role as a facilitator of her team's collective intelligence and specialties rather than feeling pressured to be the sole problem solver. This experience taught Sarah, and it reminded me, that true leadership isn't about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about being real, and when you don't know something, and creating an environment where everyone feels safe to contribute their best ideas. When we embrace our authenticity and vulnerability, we create deeper connections with our team. We foster an environment of trust and psychological safety, which is crucial for high-performing teams. So how can you put these insights into practice? Let's talk about that now. Here are some actionable steps. Let's first begin with self-reflection. Regularly set aside time to reflect on your leadership style. Ask yourself, what are my strengths? Where do I need to improve? Consider keeping a leadership journal to track your growth. This is something I highly recommend to my clients. Always seek feedback. Regularly ask for honest feedback from the team, from their peers, superiors, almost like a 360 degree. If you've ever had one, it's where you take into account various people's viewpoints of yourself, people that are below you, to the side of you, parallel, and above you in your organization. Most importantly, act on the feedback that you receive. That's very important. Don't just listen to it, do something. Continuous learning also is very important. You want to read books on leadership, and I can recommend some if you'd like. Just let me know in the comments. You want to attend leadership workshops, seminars, find a coach that will be able to hold you accountable and accompany you on your journey in this leadership road. It's something that's so important. You want to also practice vulnerability. Start small by sharing a challenge you're facing with your team. Ask for help when you need it and share your learning journey with others. Let others benefit what you've learned. Remember, becoming a great leader is a journey. It's not a destination. It requires constant effort, self awareness, and a willingness to learn and grow. To recap, becoming a leader that others want to follow isn't about dominating or always being right. It's about cultivating empathy, increasing emotional intelligence, communicating clearly and listening actively, making decisive, well informed decisions, maintaining integrity in all situations, adapting to change with flexibility, and most important, being authentic and vulnerable. These qualities aren't innate. For some, more than others, they can be developed with practice and dedication. By focusing on these areas, you will certainly transform your leadership style and become the kind of leader who inspires and motivates and brings out the best in others. Remember, the best leader are always learning and growing and always striving to be better. Your journey to become an exceptional leader starts now, today. Now it's your turn. What leadership qualities do you think are important of everything that we've gone through here? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're hungry for more personal development and insights, check out my other videos on my channel. The link is in the description as well. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell, and share for those that might need to see this video. Remember, every great leader started somewhere. Why not start your journey today? Until next time, this is Dr. RB. Again, keep growing, keep leading, and remember, the best leaders are always learning and evolving.